most people what their number one fear is? What do you think it is? Most people's number one fear is public humiliation. Okay? I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not afraid of it.
Mel Gibson has returned to the limelight, boldly confronting Hollywood's acceptance of woke culture. His most recent project, Sound of Freedom, not only challenges industry standards, but has ignited controversy throughout mainstream media. Let's pause to reflect on Mel Gibson's remarkable yet turbulent path in Hollywood. From his memorable role as Max Rokitansky in Mad Max to his Academy Award-winning acting and directing success in Braveheart, Gibson has consistently represented cinematic excellence. Nevertheless, his professional journey has been far from effortless. Throughout the years, his personal and career life became tainted by controversies that eclipsed his creativity, pushing him to the outskirts of an industry that had once hailed him. However, with Sound of Freedom, Gibson is re-entering the spotlight, and he's doing it according to his own preferences. This isn't merely a return, it's a bold declaration. The movie highlights the harsh truths of child trafficking, a topic that Hollywood has generally avoided confronting. This daring decision is intentional. It's Gibson's method of confronting an industry that favors quietude over difficult realities. By backing and promoting a project such as Sound of Freedom, Gibson is disrupting the existing order. His comeback isn't solely focused on rejuvenating his career, it's about challenging the implicit norms of a dominant industry. In reality, Hollywood isn't merely uncomfortable with his comeback, it feels truly endangered. Before we delve further into Mel Gibson's critique, let's pause to define the battlefield: woke culture. What started as a campaign for equality, inclusiveness, and social justice has, in recent times, assumed a more contentious position. Although its origins are undoubtedly commendable, highlighting injustices and raising up marginalized voices, it has transformed into something much more contentious. Creativity is progressively suppressed, differing viewpoints face severe criticism, and the Hollywood elite have turned into gatekeepers of an approved narrative. Venture beyond these limits, and the consequences are immediate and harsh. Mel Gibson, using his unreserved voice, has criticized this trend for what he thinks it has turned into: a creativity-stifling, silence-imposing monster. To him, woke culture isn't promoting authentic conversation or creativity. Rather, it imposes a strict conformity that only values specific ideas and narratives. Gibson argues that this method stifles the essence of storytelling, which flourishes on varied perspectives and bold self-expression. Is he mistaken, or is he just highlighting what many think but few have the courage to express? Hollywood, which was once a strong advocate for freedom of expression, now appears to penalize those who stray from its ideological narrative. Maybe it's worth questioning whether woke culture genuinely promotes progress, or if it simply serves as another means of control. At the center of the debate regarding Mel Gibson's comeback is Sound of Freedom, a film that challenges Hollywood conventions and prioritizes truth rather than convenience. The story focuses on a former government operative's dangerous quest to save children ensnared in the traumatic realm of human trafficking. Through its profound emotional intensity and unwavering truthfulness, the film doesn't hold back, delivering a narrative that is both captivating and essential. In contrast to Hollywood's usual dependence on escapism, this endeavor boldly tackles one of the most troubling truths of our era. Since its beginning, Sound of Freedom encountered opposition. Prominent studios were cautious, worrying about possible backlash and the contentious nature of the topic. The problem wasn't the film's quality, it was the disturbing reality it showcased. Nevertheless, Gibson and the filmmakers continued, overcoming difficulties to adapt the narrative for the cinema. The staggered launch approach transformed challenges into chances, enabling the film to gradually gain momentum. This method fostered continuous discussions and maintained Sound of Freedom's visibility in the public sphere significantly longer than conventional releases. Gibson's steadfast backing enhanced the film's influence. As an ardent supporter, he elevated its message, confronting Hollywood's reluctance to address uncomfortable yet crucial realities. The figures illustrate a clear reality. Sound of Freedom exceeded expectations, earning millions at the box office. Its triumph conveyed a strong message. Viewers desire stories that challenge limits and confront difficult realities. Despite the challenges, the film struck a chord with audiences, who praised its honest and unyielding depiction of a worldwide crisis that many choose to overlook. What began as a simple production soon evolved into a cultural sensation, driven by community backing and personal recommendations. The movie attracted full theaters, igniting widespread discussions that compelled Hollywood's conventional gatekeepers to take notice. Nonetheless, the film's influence encountered opposition. Mainstream media quickly described it as controversial or politically charged, which diminished its accomplishments. Certain critics took it a step further, challenging its motives and purpose, portraying it as polarizing instead of recognizing the critical attention it brought to child trafficking. Mel Gibson stood firm despite the criticism. Through his platform, he courageously highlighted Hollywood's double standards, challenging its selective activism.
One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking.
Gibson raised a provocative question. Why does the industry support minor issues but avoid tackling serious problems such as child trafficking? His support became a vital aspect of the film's overall cultural importance. Mel Gibson's criticism of Hollywood delves much deeper than the superficial discussions surrounding woke culture. It reveals a deep contradiction at the heart of the industry, a visible adoption of progressive values while secretly holding onto practices that emphasize profit and public perception rather than genuine transformation. Hollywood frequently portrays itself as a symbol of social justice, supporting movements that promote inclusivity and change. However, this asserted moral superiority falls apart when examined closely. Beneath the dazzling surface exists an industry that consistently overlooks inconvenient realities, especially those that clash with its neatly crafted stories. Consider child trafficking, for example. This is a crisis impacting millions worldwide, yet it is disappointingly underrepresented in popular films and media. Why? Because it's too unrefined, too chaotic, and too politically sensitive for an industry that prioritizes appearances over real change. For Gibson, this chosen indignation is unacceptable. He has been vocal regarding Hollywood's obsession with virtue signaling, alleging it neglects authentic causes for narratives that are simpler to promote. As he stated before, they're not seeking the truth, they're after a narrative that sells. This bold critique has put him in conflict with the Hollywood elite, yet Gibson stays resolute, persistently urging an industry he feels needs to face its own hypocrisy to ever reach genuine progress. One of the most notable features of Sound of Freedom is the overwhelming reaction it has garnered from viewers. As Hollywood continuously produces a stream of formulaic blockbusters, many audiences are becoming weary of cliched storylines and shallow themes. Rather, they are seeking stories with depth, tales that address real-life concerns and connect on a more profound emotional scale. Sound of Freedom surfaced as a revitalizing remedy to the shallowness prevalent in contemporary cinema. Its stark, unwavering depiction of child trafficking bravely explored uncharted territory, presenting a story that was both gripping and bold. This readiness to confront uncomfortable realities resonated with audiences eager for authenticity, evidence that impactful storytelling can still succeed over commodified entertainment. For Mel Gibson, this is not new ground at all. His earlier films, including Hacksaw Ridge, showed his skill in creating impactful, emotionally intense stories that confront challenging subjects head-on. The movie, which portrayed the brutal truths of war through a relentless perspective, achieved both critical acclaim and financial success. With Sound of Freedom, Gibson once more confirms his conviction that viewers appreciate daring, genuine narratives more than the polished illusions commonly found in today's Hollywood. What does the future hold for Mel Gibson? Based on his previous endeavors, it's evident that he isn't shying away from the limelight or the associated controversies. Rather, Gibson is set to undertake even more audacious projects, solidifying his reputation as one of Hollywood's most fearless and unrepentant narrators. One of the most eagerly awaited of his forthcoming projects is the follow-up to The Passion of the Christ. While the initial film amazed viewers globally with its authentic depiction of Christ's crucifixion, the follow-up aims to delve into the resurrection, a story rich in spiritual and cinematic importance. Initial conversations regarding the project indicate that Gibson will explore more profound mystical and theological elements of this critical moment in Christian belief. However, this ambition brings about controversy. Critics are currently analyzing the possible trajectory of the film, while fans are excitedly anticipating its debut. Gibson, on the other hand, excels in this realm, maintaining artistic authenticity while boldly addressing narratives that many avoid. For Gibson, controversy serves not as an obstacle, but as an inspiration. He has consistently demonstrated his readiness to challenge Hollywood's norms to share stories that connect. Regardless of being praised or condemned, Gibson's works remain thought-provoking, question conventions, and extend the limits of cinema. Although the discourse about Mel Gibson has been largely overshadowed by criticism and controversy, it's essential to emphasize the backing he's received from other prominent figures in the industry. These expressions of thanks uncover a different aspect of Gibson that is frequently obscured by his turbulent career. A particularly significant instance of support is from Robert Downey Jr., who has openly acknowledged Gibson for having a crucial influence on his life and career. Downey Jr., a Hollywood legend himself, revealed how Gibson assisted him during his toughest times, providing mentorship and advice when Downey faced personal struggles. Their friendship originates from the late 1990s, and Gibson was among the few individuals who supported Downey during his battle with addiction, aiding him through the difficult moments that many others abandoned him in. This public display of appreciation underscores Gibson's less recognized position as a guide and a source of support. It also provides an additional layer of complexity to his character that frequently remains overlooked. Although the media often rushes to highlight Gibson's scandals, these personal narratives showcase his steadfast loyalty and commitment to those he values. It serves as a reminder that headlines alone seldom encompass the complete portrait of an individual. What does Mel Gibson's path signify for the broader industry? The consequences reach well beyond the debate over his comeback. Gibson's journey serves as a reminder for Hollywood, underscoring the conflict between artistic liberty and industry demands. Gibson is more than a filmmaker. He's emerging as a voice for an expanding group within Hollywood. This collective consists of artists and creators who are frustrated by the industry's restrictive standards and the demand to adhere to a single story. These are the creators who seek genuine expression, narratives that do not merely adhere to the expected, standardized routes established by the industry's leaders. Gibson, through his daring take on Sound of Freedom, epitomizes this transition. He isn't hesitant to confront uncomfortable realities, and this strongly connects with an audience looking for more authentic, stimulating films. Hollywood might push back, but the changes are unmistakable. The achievement of Sound of Freedom demonstrates that viewers are ready to back movies that confront the existing norms. As audiences continue to express their preferences through spending, Hollywood will need to confront the rising need for a broader range of raw, genuine stories that depict real-world situations, instead of the polished tales it usually favors. Gibson's journey represents more than himself. It symbolizes a broader movement transforming the future of Hollywood. Mel Gibson has once more demonstrated that he is a significant presence, both in filmmaking and as a cultural commentator. Sound of Freedom is more than a movie. It's a declaration. What are your thoughts? Is Mel Gibson an innovative director, or is he just provoking controversy? Share your thoughts in the comments section, and remember to like, share, and subscribe for more engaging content.